Hey, welcome back to the Glycogen Cycling YouTube channel. We got the Mount Hamilton descent today. So I had this footage and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I apologize if this is going to be like a super long video, but I'm going to leave the timestamps in the description. So this climb and descent is broken up into like 3 different sections. So I didn't record the uphill on the descent, so you're going to get strictly all the descending in this video, but I'm going to leave the timestamps down below in case you want to skip forward to like the next part of the climb. I'm going to do a little bit of a voiceover on each section and talk about that specific descent. So I'm not going to talk through this whole thing, but yeah, so here we go. This is Mount Hamilton. It's in San Jose, California. And Phil Gaiman actually did a KOM attempt up here, and he got it, obviously, because he's Phil. He did it in like an hour, just over an hour, like hour 1 minute or something like that. And my goal going up was do it in sub hour 30, because I was talking to some guys at the Mike's bike shop, and they were like, yeah, 1:30 is a solid time. So that was my goal just going into it. And again, I'm from Florida, so I don't have my climbing legs right now, but I ended up doing it in like 1:23. So I held like 300 watts for hour and 23 minutes, and that includes the downhill section. So if that didn't have that, it'd probably be a little bit higher. So yeah, this first part of the climb, or the descent, I should say, is the more technical section. And that guy I just passed, he was climbing this on a single speed. So I was like, hey dude, you're killing it, good job, almost there, because he was crushing it. So yeah, this part was, you'll notice my speed is like kind of it's not super fast, and that's because this climb isn't really super steep. Like, it's a good beginner level climb. I had a 36-25. I don't think I was ever in the 25. So it's nothing like super steep or anything like that. So it's really fun, and the climb is actually really, really pretty. The views, I should say. But this first part is the more technical section. There's a lot of switchbacks, as you'll see, and you'll see me going out on the opposite side of the road a couple times, and just be aware that I'm constantly looking ahead for cars, making sure there's none coming up, and only when I'm for sure that there's no cars oncoming is when I'll go into the other lane when I know it's safe, because I feel like I can take a better line that way and not risk going off the edge of the mountain. So, it may seem kind of sketchy, but in reality, it's probably safer than taking it, trying to stay in the proper lane, because there could be rocks or whatever. So again, I was looking ahead there, realized there's no cars coming, so I went in the other lane just slightly. So yeah, this trip was, not funded by me, actually. I do a lot of things for work where I travel, and I have gone, to a lot of places this year, actually. I brought my bike to a couple. San Francisco I went to, I went to, where else did I bring my bike? I can't actually remember. I think this was one of the only places that I went with work that I brought my bike with, because normally it's like as soon as the work is done, I jump right on a plane, so it doesn't really make sense always to bring my bike with. But when I can manage to squeeze an extra day out of the trip is when I'll bring my bike with and explore a little bit. So that's what I did on this trip. I had a 2-day conference I was working at, and super long story of what actually happened, but the first 2 days I didn't actually have my bike, and I'm going to do a full video on this. But basically, American Airlines lost my bike for a day, and it was just a crazy story. So I'm going to do a full video on that. I'm not going to get into it too much right now, but I was only able to ride 2 days, and this was one of the days. So this was on Friday, I believe. Yeah, this was on Friday. Wow, I need to pick up a calendar. Friday the 3rd? I think so. Yeah, this was on Saturday, actually. This was Saturday the 4th of May that this ride took place. And I went up here around like 3 or 4 o'clock and then headed back down. It was like a total of like 55 miles. This climb is like 18 miles up. So it's nothing too terrible. But yeah, I'm from Florida, and before that I'm from Chicago. So I'm not really used to descending like this with all these switchbacks. And part of it is just getting the handle on the roads and where you're at. And you'll see towards the end I like started to get the feel of it better, got the groove going, and was able to go a little bit quicker. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the timestamp down below, and if you want to skip to the next section, feel free to do that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of this first descent. Hey, welcome back. Again, this is the second part of the descent. Glad you're still with me here. And this section was the middle part, obviously, because there's 3. But the road was kind of bumpy at this point. There wasn't like rocks and stuff, but it was just like kind of like a chip and seal type of pavement. So it was, not as smooth rolling as like the first and the third section are. So again, starting to get a little bit of my groove back. And I apologize if the data is not like exact. It was kind of hard to match it up because my Garmin kept losing connection. Like I'm in the middle of nowhere basically. I didn't have cell phone reception or anything. So the Garmin just loses connection a little bit, and then it just, kind of shifts off. So it may not be exact, but it's as close as I can get it. And again, feeling the roads a little bit better, and I'm able to, take the turns a little bit quicker, put some power down, and see how quickly we can do this. So one thing I'm gonna say is, if you're a noob like me at descending, one thing that really actually helps is to, if you have a Garmin or another computer with like a maps capability, what I do is I pull up the maps and let the thing track me, and then see what the upcoming turns are. So I know if it's like super sharp that I'm gonna have to lay on the brakes a little bit sooner. But if it's just like a sweeping bend like that, then I don't really have to brake at all. So like this one, when it's like a blind turn like that, you don't really know if it's how far it twists and turns, especially if you don't know the climb and have never really descended before. So if you have your Garmin up and you can see how sharp that turn is, you know how quickly you can take it. So it's just kind of like, it's a little pro tip on descending when you don't know the climb. And I think I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the pros do this. They pull up that map and can see like kind of where the turns are and how fast they can actually take it. So yeah, hopefully I help you out with that little tip. And these turns, some of them on this section were a little bit sketchy because there was like fallen rocks on the inside there. So you have to really be careful, because if you're going through these turns at 25 and there's some rocks or dirt or whatever, that front tire is going to slide out on you. So you got to be extra cautious with that. So yeah, this was like a super fun ride. Definitely something different that I've, haven't been doing too much. And there's like no cars, at least when I went. It was a Saturday at like 3 o'clock, so you'd think there'd be more cars, but not too many. And there was one on this part that I got stuck behind a little bit, but he kind of knew it and was hauling, so it didn't really matter too much. And then once you get to the little climb section on the downhill, then the cars are all going to go in front of you, and you have your own road again. So again, looking ahead, making sure there's no cars, so don't freak out at me in the comments. But yeah, putting down some power and getting smooth. So this section, unlike the previous, it starts to not be as twisty, not as sharp turns, so you can kind of glide through them a little bit more, and you can hold your speed. Again, my data right there is kind of losing connection, because you saw I was like a 14, but no way I was going 14 then. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this climb. If you want to skip to the next section, check out the timestamp below, and I'll see you for the last bit. right, and here we are on the last descent. So again, this is split up into 3 descents. I just finished that last climb and now bringing the speed back up for this next downhill section. This was probably my favorite part. The turns are super sweeping. There wasn't, any debris on the road or anything like that, and the pavement was actually really nice. Once I get out of this first section, it was like super smooth pavement, and that's probably because this is the section that you have the San Jose views. So you can see right here the pavement changed a little bit, and it's super smooth now. So this is the type of descending I like. So I got up, I got some decent speeds going at times, and again, still watching the Garmin to see if there's any super sharp turns, because there's a couple, but overall it's like fairly straight. You can see the map in the top right compared to that first part I did. It's a lot straighter, and yeah, because of that you can get a lot of speed going. I was looking on Strava, and the descent, the KOM for this, it was taken in the Tour of California. So obviously they have closed roads, but they were cruising because the KOM is like just over 30 minutes. And again, remember, there's those 2 little climbs. I didn't do any footage of that, but they are, it's not like a little climb. You probably gain like, 400, 500 feet or so. Maybe 300. So it's not like just a little, you can like pedal through it. It's like you're in your small ring and you have to actually put down power. Now they're probably hammering it up that, but to do this in like 30 minutes, it just seems crazy to me, because that first descent took me like 15 minutes at least. I think overall I did this in around like 45 minutes or so, maybe 40. So they had to be taking a lot of risks on this descent. I think this was in 2011 when they last went up there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they went up the other side and then down this side. So I don't know if that was the end of the race or what, but I was just looking at the Strava results, and that's what I saw. So this part is a little flat section. You can really just, this is kind of like a TT mode. This is where you make up some time, especially on the uphill. That's the trick. So on the uphill, you want to go super fast in this flat section, and the descents, you want to just go all out. Make up some time, especially if you're a bigger guy like me. You can't really, make up that much time otherwise. So that's the trick I use to actually get the hour 23. And I have some footage from the way up too. So let me know in the comments how you want me to do that. Do you just want me to do like a voiceover of it? Or you want me to just do like, I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. What you want to see from that video. So this part is the downtown San Jose views over to the left. Super beautiful climb. Wasn't super windy today. It's probably around 65, 70 degrees. And yeah, really enjoyed my time here. And then the next day, on Sunday, right before my flight, I checked out the Apple campus. So you can't be an iOS developer and not check out the Apple campus when you're in San Jose. So that's what I did. Took a ride over there, and that was pretty cool. Their new building is absolutely crazy. I know this is not cycling related, but it's basically a circle or a cylinder, and it's really, really sweet. Follow me on Instagram. I did some Instagram stories of that if you haven't seen it. So yeah, here is the last part of the descent. That's going to be it from me, so enjoy the rest of this downhill section, and I'll see you in the next video.
Fuck sanitizing, cause I'm a virus. So dirty like the old Osiris. I never tiptoe when I'm on papyrus, cause my words bleed through, band-aids can't hide this. And I just get on my ride and blast off. My scheme's so Ponzi, I'm a Madoff. Weekend with Bernie, Donzi boat burning, cigarette boat, the speeds are unearthly. Chilling in the harbor, as if I swam there. I like my health, but I still jam there. I got my jam box cut to 11, and I'm E-dub, I don't know any Evan, unless your profession is cutting checks, in which case that name probably suits me best. Or Black Paisley, the name we gave hope to. The light in the tunnel is starting to pose for hope. I ain't just trying to survive, I'm still trying to thrive. I never wanna say goodbye, but this road's getting hard and my lungs filling up with dust. And I ain't never had the answer, so I keep moving faster. 2 steps from the next disaster. In a world so tight, all I wanna do is loosen up. Loosen up, loosen up, loosen up, loosen up, loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. Tighten up, I play the black keys, I play the white keys. 88s go harder than the Nikes. I'm a Scorpio, no Pisces. I'm not a fish, so please don't bite me. Bite this, my hope, my dream, my love, my passion. I stomach most things, but not in action. Redacting fiction is my favorite pastime. The Sharpie's out, I'll pen this last line. The bass out, I leave the drums in. I take the hate out, I put the love in. On trial, double murder when the glove fits. Johnny Cochran ain't around, put the sub in. Hungry fiends, they need thrills, so I'll try to feed that. College kids sitting on the edge of their beanbags, they need that thriller, and I promise I'll deliver. No manila envelope, we all colors, no vanilla like. I ain't just trying to survive, I'm still trying to thrive. I never wanna say goodbye, but this road's getting hard and my lungs filling up with dust. And I ain't never had the answer, so I keep moving faster. 2 steps from the next disaster. In a world so tight, all I wanna do is loosen up. Loosen up, 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 tighten up. Loosen up and hear the kids talking. They want truth or else they'll start walking. Hardball and lies are your coffin. Watch it burn down while you're sitting in your office. I can't call it shit, but I'll text it. The played out is bound to get nexted. You lay down, you try to get rest, but that bed is like a prison where you live until death. Where you live until death. Yeah, I got this effect in my voice that makes me sound like a political rapper. The revolution. Not really me. Not yet. Not now, anyway. Alright, we gotta talk about my regular thing. Who the hell was that guy? He seemed really nice. Freestyle Friday number 25. Loosen up. Thanks to the Black Keys and their song Tighten Up for that sample. Worked out pretty well as a rap song, don't you guys think? Huh? Are you guys on Twitter? Do you want to talk to me on Twitter? Anyway, July 16th, everybody come out to the show tonight at the 8x10 in Federal Hill. It's gonna be a blast. Blast from the past and the future. It's gonna be a cool stick, complex, and myself, E-Double, and my band, Young English. It's gonna be our last show as Young English. So you guys are gonna be crying by midnight or whenever. I think we're gonna go on sometime around there. Anyway, Facebook.com/EDubHipHop, Twitter.com/EDubHipHop, Black Paisley.